Well, I hate to make another video about the government going against the Constitution of the United States of America just to gain more control that they're not allowed to have. It seems like we're getting to the point that every time we turn around, we've got to take these sons of guns to court to get something done. And I think it's time for the Supreme Court to finally step up and put things into the proper perspective. A once and for all opinion. I'm going to go over here just a second, people. Founders only intended for limited powers for government. That's why they wrote the Constitution. But, as you find out, government mistrust is a key to the U.S. history. And I think it's standing between the government and us is the firearms. Now, I'm going to put something up here so that you guys understand this a little bit better. I've done this before. We'll do it again. And all the Supreme Court has to do is quote this, and this is going to put an end to this. And I'm tired of we're spending a lot of money on lawyers, on these different firearm lawyer group things, and it's like World War II. They're island hopping. They're hitting it here, hitting it there, hitting it here, hitting it there, instead of, winning the war. And I guess maybe it's no fault of their own, but to me it's just maybe they don't want to lose their cash cow. I don't know. But we need a doggone government, or a Supreme Court, to put things into their proper perspective and set these people straight in the government. This is a preamble to the Bill of Rights. It was written in 1789, before our Constitution was ratified. Nobody would ratify this until we had these rights put on paper so that the government would not infringe upon it. And it says, the conventions of a number of the states, having at the time of adopting the Constitution expressed a desire in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its power, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. Now, if you don't know what declaratory means, it's explanatory. It's designed to fix what was uncertain or doubtful. They want to make it perfectly clear why these rights were being put in. Something else I want you to think about, people. Under the Second Amendment, we'll go over here a second. It says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, you don't see any subparagraph A, B, C, or D that might stipulate what an acceptable infringement might be after the word infringe, do you? Nope. The federal government is constitutionally barred from infringing upon your rights. No, nowhere. They're not allowed. Accordingly, the federal government is nowhere in the Constitution granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns or ammunition. Thus, all restrictive laws made by Congress, all regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional, as they are outside the scope of powers granted to the Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restrictions of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to Congress or to the executive branch. Once you remember this, people, the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution ratifies and preserves for every citizen the right to keep and bear arms. And moreover, neither Congress or any other instrument of the federal government is allowed to infringe upon that right. They are constitutionally barred. Period. No question mark. That's it. Like I said, we need the Supreme Court to come forth to put all this to rest, save American taxpayers a lot of money on lawyers. You know, I mean, these lawyers are still going to have enough business after all this to keep them afloat. And right now, we need this done. We need this done. It needs to be put to rest. And this thing about, oh, well, we can use the Commerce Clause, we can use the Welfare Clause, and it's a bunch of hooey. Nothing overrides the Constitution. These rights were put in there for a reason. Like I said, you know, declaratory in there, it means it was designed to fix what was uncertain before or doubtful, in order to prevent any misconstruction or abuse of its powers. That further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. Now, you can't get it any better than that, people. That's in your Constitution. And these people, these gun grabbers, are after more control. We wouldn't have all the crime in here if there were jobs. And they sent all the jobs overseas. Now, who's to blame? Here's something else that pisses me off. All these gun laws that they ever passed are unconstitutional because they're outside the scope of powers delegated to the Congress. But after John Kennedy was shot, they blamed a lone gunman. So, and everybody, I mean, we all missed him. He was a good president. But these nitwits all got together, oh, we've got to pass more gun laws. So they passed this 1968 gun law that put more restrictions on the American people. And it wasn't the American people that killed John Kennedy. It wasn't just a lone gunman. It was members of the federal government themselves that took it upon themselves to kill that president. A lot of people were involved and they covered it up. And then they blamed it on the people and passed laws against the people that the people couldn't have guns, but the people that did the killing still has guns. Think about that. So anyway, I pretty much ran it quite a bit. Well, a little bit. But we need the Supreme Court to come to our aid to put this to rest. Like I said, government mistrust is a key to U.S. history. Yep. With why we have guns, because the supreme power in America not enforce laws by sword, because the whole body of the people are armed and constitutes a force superior to any band of regular troops that can be raised in the United States, unless they bring in UN troops. And everybody wants a blue helmet. So, like I said, they envision a very limited power to the government. And they've overstepped their boundaries, patted themselves on the back, gives themselves more money at the end of the year, and screw the hell of people. No. Okay. But we need the Congress to step up. Not the Congress, we need the Supreme Court to step forward and put this to rest. So that we can rest. Finally, so we can rest. Right there is, that's the noose to put around the Congress' neck. Right there. It has been. Everybody keeps sidetracking it, and they're not going for the jugular vein. I'll read that one more time. The conventions of a number of the states, having at the time of adopting the Constitution, expressed a desire in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. And like I said, declaratory it means explanatory. It's designed to fix what was uncertain or doubtful. I wanted to make everything clear. Okay, people, that's all I got to say for today. And good luck. And Supreme Court, Justice Thomas, I hope that you're aware of all this that's going on, and you finally put a stop to it, a halt. Put everything in the proper place. Everybody, thanks for watching, and take all this stuff to heart. Thanks.